How y'all doing, man? We back at it again with the Workman podcast. You got your boy Elgin Woodside here. What's up, Chris?
What it do, L? What's going on, baby?
You
How we
straight,
doing,
bro?
man?
Man, it's a beautiful night,
Yeah,
man. It's a
bro.
beautiful day.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
honestly
I
just,
changed the
I'm
scene
honestly
around.
just blessed to be in a safe spot right now. You know, with all that's going on. You feel me? With the
Oh yeah.
hurricane and all.
Oh yeah, man. How you feeling? How you feeling after everything? For real? Everything good? Like, what's up with you?
Mm, honestly, I'm not too worried about it. Uh, my family good. We got generators. Both of them got generators. Um, I'm currently in Florida right now, so I'm out of the way. I'll be going back tomorrow though and go check on my people. Just move some debris, help them refill gas because they're out of gas in the city and they're out of power. And they said the power ain't gonna be back for about a week and a half or 2 weeks at the earliest or something like that. So just making sure they have gas,
Right.
um, any food they need, stuff like that, and then go back to work and stuff. See how they making out and stuff back in Gonzales. So just trying to work through it, bro. I know it's gonna be a process, but we've been through it before, so it ain't too bad.
Oh yeah. Oh
But I
yeah. It was
heard,
really
bro,
like
in
replays.
Slidell, yeah, I heard in Slidell they had some man got eaten by an alligator, bro.
I saw that.
A man
I
got
saw that.
eaten
I
by an
read that article,
alligator.
bro.
What'd you read?
Yeah.
What'd you see?
It said basically I was at work when I kind of saw it. Where it was like basically she pulled him out the water because it was flooding, and
Mm-hmm.
then I think she went to go like get help or something like that. And then, but he was already fighting the alligator, so she was trying to help him out the water, basically. And then when she came back, his body was gone, like he was nowhere to be found. Type shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
So
that's
the
what I
alligator
read.
just finished them off, huh?
But that's a whole, bro. That's really a whole like like descendant of like a dinosaur. Like they had dinosaurs that shit like that.
Right.
That's really a monster.
That's really what it is. It's
For
really like a
real.
dinosaur. That's what it looked like because the arms and the way the head shaped, and it really
Mm-hmm.
might be a dinosaur.
Nah, for real. I'm just surprised. I'm just crazy. I was about, that was just crazy though. Like, bro, like
To
lost his
hear
life to
that it really
alligator.
ate a person, yeah. And people
Oh
be
yeah,
really
I
out here
believe
like
they.
wrestling alligators too.
Bro's probably fighting for his life. I don't know. That's crazy, man. I couldn't even imagine. You're already trying to swim up out of a flood. You feel me? And then all of a sudden,
Exactly.
alligators they don't need too much to swim through water. That's their territory. So
Yeah, they very
it was
territorial,
easy
bro.
for him to get some.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. But I'm glad your
yeah,
people good though. Honestly,
yeah.
my
I'm
people
glad your
straight.
people safe. They out the way too. So that's blessings, bro. I mean, I'm just glad that the levees held up this time because usually, it'll flood the whole city, but the whole city not underwater this time. It's just like certain spots for real. But it's just
Right, right,
the power outages and all right now.
right. But let's be honest. Y'all, you know they blew them levees last time. Let's be.
Oh yeah,
You
that's
know
what I'm
they.
saying. I'm like, man, that shit is strange how all of a sudden they work perfectly fine now. When everybody got them cameras on them now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Technology is more advanced now. You feel me?
But
For
nah,
real.
bro. On a lighter note, bro, did you hear about that high school that pretty much finessed ESPN into getting them on the like the high school game day?
Yeah, bro. I was
Yeah,
just looking at that.
that's crazy, right?
Yeah, bro. And I was just like, like I was reading, like I was going through some of like the little highlights or whatever, like, and they were saying, I saw the announcer saying they saying they have so many D1 prospects, but they're not showing up in any
Right.
of our database.
Like
And I'm
I'm trying to
like,
figure out where they checks and balances is at to like make sure that was like real
right.
information.
And the
That's
crazy part
crazy.
is though, like when I saw it, I'm like, dang, they're like, I'm like, they finessing like that. So they got like 20 and 30-year-olds that's like rejected, like college dropouts pretty much playing against high
Right.
school. But the crazy part was, I was looking at the score and I was like, hold up, buddy, what are losing? I realized they was losing. I'm like, y'all losing
Right.
30
Like
high school?
losing bad. Like
like losing bad. Like they hadn't scored. Like it was like the third quarter by that time. Did not score.
I know. I was like, at least be good if you're gonna be doing all that. Like, don't be
Right,
losing doing all that. Then they said they ain't
right.
won a game. They ain't won a game since 2019.
Shit, how many games did they play in 2019 for real? For real?
They said they ain't won a game since 2019. They haven't played. They've been outscored like 300 to like 40 in that time span. Like they've been getting whooped, bro.
I know you lying, bro.
Like they grown men just out there getting whooped by high schoolers for
That
that's
don't
what
make
they
no sense.
do.
Y'all shouldn't even be trying to play football. Then y'all need to go find another hobby or something, bro. Y'all not even
Exactly.
like. What's the point? Like you finessing for what? And then the head coach had to act him arrest warrant out for him.
Exactly. Exactly. But it's crazy because that kind of leads us into the topic. Like, is it okay to be average? You feel me? They out there playing being they out there playing being average, but is it really is that okay? Like, I guess if they love
Man,
the
that
game of
wasn't even.
football, is it no? He said that's below average.
That wasn't even. That was below average. That wasn't even average, bro. Like
Yeah,
if they
that's
was really
crazy,
average, they
bro.
would at least put up like. If they was average, they would at least put up like a good 14 spot, like, at least.
Right.
They ain't even put
Yeah.
that up. And it was against
It's,
high schoolers. That's not that. Then the standard is just you just lowered the bar too low. Like you in your 20s and
exactly.
30s. Like you can't even overpower the high schoolers. You grown men. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
But
Crazy. But nah,
yeah,
bro.
but it's
But as far as like being average, like the reason why I kind of thought of the topic, it was just I was talking to somebody. I'm not gonna say nobody's name, but um, it just made me think. Like sometimes people will present a problem, but like not want the answer to it. You feel me? Or if you give them the answer, it's just not good enough, and it's like maybe they just okay with being average, and you can't be mad at somebody for just being okay with being average. But the thing that I have an issue with is when you're average, but like you have like that feeling inside to where you know that you shouldn't be moving like that. That's the only thing that's really bad about it. Because if you didn't have that feeling on the inside, then I'll let you be. Like you all good, you feel me? But the fact that you even have that little itch or you look in the mirror and you can't really be happy with what you see, or you wake up in the morning, you don't feel excited about your day or like where you at, then I think that's where you start having issues with just being average. Because some people can be average and just be perfectly at peace and not
yeah,
compare themselves to nobody else and just be fine with it. But there's different people. People move differently. People have different emotions, different things that trigger them. So it's just understanding yourself and where you stand on that line between average and actually trying to pursue something. I guess.
right. And I think what's even worse than that is if you are you're average and but you also want to portray yourself. It's not even if that you're average. You want greatness, right? So this is the worst part about it. You want greatness, you say you do this, you say you do that, but then you have average actions behind it. That's what I get mad at.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. You saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna go make 1 million. I'm gonna go be a multimillionaire. I'm gonna go outwork everybody. I'm about to be the best in my field. I'm about to take somebody's spot, like whatever. But then when I see you at practice, work, you in your daily habits and the things that you post. Even if I can tell
Mm-hmm.
people at what people are just by the things about that they post. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like okay, but you still being average. So your actions not meeting with your mouth right now. You're not walking. You talking a whole lot, but you're not walking.
It's
You know what
almost
I'm
like
saying?
when they get around you, they might be, tapping into that side of them to where like they want that greatness because they know that you're on that mission and pursuing that. When they get around you, they want to talk about that, and that kind of sparks that emotion again. But as soon as they get back to their normal daily routine, they back in that average cycle. You feel me? Because
Right.
you're not there with them, or like whoever that person is for you, they're not there with them, so they're just gonna go back into they regular habits that they already adapted to. You feel me? Because they
Right.
never really changed. They never changed anything in their life actually. So it's hard to change your results if the things that's creating your results never change. You feel me?
Oh man, somebody calling my phone right now.
You good, bro?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. Somebody trying to call on my phone. My bad.
Hey man, you hot boy Chris.
I ain't gonna say all that now. I ain't never been a
Yeah.
hot boy.
But nah. I definitely feel what you're saying though. But like, let's kind of go into like what is average though. So I got the definition of average. It says not enough to be praised for, but not bad enough to be completely incompetent. So it's not good enough to where you can be glorified for it, but it's not bad enough to where you gotta stop. But it's just like you just getting by,
You
you
doing just
slide under
enough.
the radar, yeah. And if you
Yeah,
look at it as a number, average means the sum of everything, divided by the amount of the things that you have, So it's basically just the mean or the typical, outcome that you'll most likely come out with based on the whole group. You feel me? So when I think of average, I think typical or routine or something like that. But
right.
and if you want to compare it to water, then you can compare it to like being lukewarm or something like that. Like instead of being hot or cold, you're lukewarm. And I mean, if you're okay with being typical, that's just that's fine. But I don't know. I'm not cool with being typical. But what's your thoughts on that definition?
I think that just. I think that. It is the definition, but I also think it depends on like the person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like in certain situations, in certain aspects, you're going to be average at certain things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I really feel like honestly, it comes down to what are you choosing to be average at,
Mm.
right? Because
Mm.
you feel me, like you can be. It's okay to be average, but is your effort average? Like, are you giving like ultimate effort and still coming out with average results? Then that's just something that comes with time for real. That just means you're learning from whatever mistakes, whatever drawbacks you're having. Because eventually that maximum effort is going to turn into the maximum results. But some things take time, especially if you're average in a certain area. But if you choosing to be average, like you're like, okay, I'm gonna just get by with everything that I do.
Yeah.
Relationship, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get by. Money, I'm gonna get by. I'm gonna live check to check. Friendships, relationships, whatever. I'm gonna get by. Whatever. I'm gonna just talk to people with no intention behind, increasing that relationship any further than what it is. It is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like a tricky one right there. But just having that average mindset. What are you choosing to be average at? And I feel like
Hmm.
that's one thing to just choose to be average at something rather than it just being the result of the efforts that you're putting in. It's a real difference for real. And some people get that mistaken. Like people, I feel like some people get that mistaken.
Yeah.
I'll get that confused sometimes. It's like sometimes we choose to be average at different things. Like sometimes, like when I get up in the morning and I hit my snooze button, I chose to be average that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we all do it in different aspects. I ain't gonna say nobody
But
gonna act like that, but I
it
think that
happens.
ultimately,
It's reality. Yeah. It's reality.
right. But it's
Like nobody's
ultimately,
gonna be a master of everything. Nobody's gonna be the top of the list on every single thing they do. That's just not. I don't think that that's something that's really possible in one lifespan to be the best
right,
at every single thing in the world. So you got to pretty much pick what's the most important thing to you, and what's the thing you're gonna be willing to put that phenomenal greatness energy into, because it's so many options that if you try to do it all, you're gonna be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Which I think people take pride in being a jack of all trades, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really get you anywhere, because you spread so thin that you don't have the ability to actually propel yourself in one field because you're so you're over diversified. It's okay to be diversified as far as protecting yourself and leveraging, your abilities. But when you over diversify, that's when you kind of dilute yourself. You water yourself down, I feel like.
Right. And I think that what also comes with that quote is that you also don't want to be a single point failure either. So I think okay to be the master of one, but it's also good to be, you know, locked in and versatile in different aspects. But it's also something that you have to realize that, like you say, you can't over diversify. It's okay to be diversified, but you're diversified in specific areas. Like those are so you're still mastering those trades that you have, but they're still specified. So because you're not focused on just one route, right? Like think about it this way. Let's think about it like this. Let's take sports for example, right? Initially, like me for example, I went in, I was all baseball. That's it. You know, man, with school, whatever, I was just doing this for this. Like I'm doing this for baseball. Then it gets to a point where you realize the trail running out. So now, but at the same time, we were able to build that skill set in other areas to basically keep us afloat. You see what I'm saying? Yep. So we didn't crash back down to the bottom, but we still stuck to our interests and what we felt like was going to propel us in another direction and put us where we needed to be at. But we weren't over diversified. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it went from just being like baseball to being baseball and engineering, and then we work it from there, right? Yeah. So it also is something that people have to realize that you can be diversified, but don't try to go read every ebook and feel like you're going to master all these different trades and all these different skills. Like you can pick one, you can pick one route, you can pick one ebook and then get multiple streams of income from that one skill that you have.
Bro. Exactly. Because sometimes over information is a terrible thing. Like when you get too much information and too many options, that's when you start being average at everything. Like you know a lot. I mean, I guess it's good to do that initially. That way you know a lot and you can kind of pick and choose which one you want to go into based on your skill set. But as far as you like trying to maintain all of those things, you got to cut some of that information off and like kind of put it in your back pocket for like a later date, until you get these things running. And I feel like I had to do that too because I had a bad habit of, getting a whole bunch of information, like listening to YouTube all day, reading ebooks, getting courses. And then like I gained so much knowledge and information, but I can't really go into detail on all of that stuff. Like there's only certain things, from each one that I'm really able to go into detail about. And I feel like now I'm getting to the point where I'm locked in on like a small group of those things that I realized were, things that I was strong at that I tried. And I was like, I'm gonna pursue these things instead of trying to do all of this at once because you only got so much time in the day, bro. And if you trying to pursue all of that, you will never be great at anything. I think that was a good point that you hit on. And it kind of reminded me when you talked about baseball, it like makes me think of like when people like do pitching and hitting, like Shohei Ohtani, like he's so rare. Think about he's like really the first person to really be hitting and pitching in the league like that.
Like really coming out baseball, and throwing 7 and then coming out and hitting 3 home runs in the same game.
Right. And baseball is like a very old game, like well over 100 years old. So it's like it's been that long and nobody has ever done something like that. So think about how, rare it is for somebody to have that ability to do it. I mean, it's possible, but think about how much work, how much time you had to put in for that. Are you willing to put that time in and do that? You feel me?
Right. That's double the work.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so when it comes to like you said, it's rare. Like that person is very, very rare. But you have to realize that the statistics behind somebody
being able to excel in both of those areas, and really being able to really get the results that they put in. You got to realize what the results that he's putting out came from probably years and years and years of work that a lot of people probably didn't see. They're just seeing the result right now. So like when it comes to, grabbing all this different information, it can really form a instability. You know what I'm saying? And it really it reminds me of scripture. I think it was James. Yeah, it's James. James chapter 1. That's what it is. James chapter 1. Actually, I got it right here. James chapter 1, verse 6. Yeah, 6 through 8. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. So just to break that down to what we're talking about right now, it's really saying like you get all this different information, right? And you can't hone in on something, like it's going to be hard to really master that skill. And when something becomes difficult, there's a bit of doubt that comes. When you get the doubt, that's what instability comes. When instability comes, you're double-minded, so you're not stable in anything. And so now, since your mind is unstable, you're double-minded, now your actions are going to be double. Like you basically double work.
Yes. It makes sense. Right. It's all connected. Saying? Yep.
So you have to lock in on first off you have to believe in what you're doing. Right. So you have to have enough faith.
The only way you can believe is if you're confident in it and you mastered it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm about to say. Like you have to pick that thing that you know you're good at, or even like you feel like there's something there, you have to believe in it off rip. So whatever it is what you do, whatever it is that you do, whether it's you want to launch a clothing brand, you want to do hair, you want to build different systems, you want to be the best, you want to create the newest technology, you want to create the next crypto, whatever it is you feel like you can do, like you have to lock into it for real. And once you do that, then everything will start to fall into place. But if you don't focus in and lock in on something, then you're going to be unstable in everything that you do. So that means you're never going to go anywhere. You're going to run on a treadmill the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because like I feel like there's a time to become multidimensional, but I feel like it's like not as soon as people think, bro.
Right.
It's like I had a very bad, habit of that too, because I was doing a lot. Like, remember when I had the music going on, I was doing a lot of music. Had 2 different podcasts going on. It's just I had to kind of put that aside. Like I'm like letting Jacob and them really lead that now because I'm 100% focusing on this and like building this. Because I feel like this is really where my purpose and my calling is. I like to do that to stay creative, but as far as like putting a whole bunch of time, energy, resources into it, it's hard to do that because you can't. Imagine trying to fill 2 buckets at the same time with 1 bottle of water. You can't do it. But if you focus on filling that first one first, you feel me, then it's gonna lead you to filling in the other one. But you can't fill them both at the same time. You feel me? Because it's just impossible. And it makes me think of that one quote. It's like you can hit a tree, 1,000 times in like 1,000 different spots, it'll never move. But if you hit it 1,000 times in one spot, you're gonna have that thing on the ground for sure. Like
exactly. You have to hone in on that
one area.
That one area. And eventually you're gonna knock down that tree. And that tree is your goal. You gotta realize what your goal is. And so you have to pick your path. And so people have to realize that the path that you pick, there's gonna be different pathways that come. Life is already throwing curveballs every single day. So you doing yourself injustice by throwing yourself curveball. You see what I'm saying? Like you doing yourself injustice, you're making it harder for yourself. Like just like think about when you go into the box as a hitter, right?
Like I never thought about it like that, bro.
Some people get into the box. Some people get into the box, and sometimes you just gotta react to the fastball, bro. Yeah. You're looking for one pitch.
Yeah.
Whatever pitch that you're looking for, I don't care if it's a curveball, I don't care if it's a slider, I don't care if it's a changer. But once you pick that pitch you're looking for and the spot you're looking for it in, you gotta hone in on that. And once you see it, you can't lose sight of it. Like that's how it is. You feel me? But if you go in that box overthinking,
because
you're
like now
not
you
gonna
say that,
yeah.
I never realized it, but when we used to play, like I didn't used to like watching a pitcher pitch like before the game, like when he be in the bullpen, but like coach would be like, watch what he doing, watch what he doing, see what all the pitches he got. But it's like sometimes I just be like, all right, but if I'm way over here trying to understand his pitches from over there, how can I really gather enough information to where I can like capitalize on what he's throwing or what he's doing? You feel me? Because like the pitcher, bro, a pitcher gonna have full pitches, bro. He gonna have a changeup, a curveball, a slider, and a fastball. Very rarely you see anything different than that. You feel me? Or something outside of that. So you know what they coming with. It's just you trying to see what's his tendency as far as is he really pumping the fastball or throwing the curveball very often. But you don't need to be sitting there over analyzing like how many times are you gonna throw the curveball. Like when you first seen it, it's like you already psyching yourself out. But when he come first pitch with the fastball, you overthinking about all these other stuff that you missed the fastball.
And guess
you
what?
missed your opportunity right there.
First pitch. Don't, especially if you hit it's in the early innings, you know you're gonna throw it first pitch. You feel what I'm saying? Bro. So it's really like
that's what breaks the average.
And that's why people don't realize like you watching the pitcher is just for you to, like you said, get his tendency. Okay, is he hanging a curveball? Okay, I'm looking for the curveball then. I'm gonna smash it because he hanging it. Is he throwing the fast? Is he pumping it? If he pumping the fastball, I just gotta make a little contact, and that thing going. If I gotta go, I'm sitting on it. But those are the things people looking at, as opposed to like you gotta just know where you need to hone in at, and that's where it comes with not just with people's game or people's life. You gotta know where you need to focus in at. You feel me?
Yep. And I feel like it's even harder. It's even harder these days to focus in because this is the information age. This is the age where you can just hop on social media. You could read an article that you never seen before in 30 seconds and learn something totally new that you never would have even thought to Google or search or anything, but you gaining knowledge that you didn't even ask for, you know? You gaining knowledge on things that probably you don't even need to know. Because you can't add any value to your life from it. Some things you don't need to know.
Exactly. And that's why I encourage people to like honestly take a break from social media, even if it's just like a week. And I'm on the verge of just doing that too, because sometimes I instinctively catch myself just picking up my phone, just going straight to them, just scrolling for no reason. I snap out of it. I'm like, bro, what am I scrolling if I'm not even looking at that? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But you just then when you realize information.
And then people got to realize once you actually do that, like once you put that phone down, the information, it gives you time to focus on yourself, right? Okay, what do I need to do? Because also when it comes to this phone, we're talking about the information, not just articles, we're talking about other people. So now we're so focused on what other people have going on that we're not even focused on ourselves anymore. And that's where the comparison comes in. You start comparing yourself to other people because you steadily see these other people online posting things every day. Like I see so many times people posting photos and stuff, like that's what they call juxtapose. So vocabulary lesson for people, juxtapose is basically when you basically create an image, like you make an image look a certain way, right? You make something look a certain way. So like when Instagram is nothing but juxtaposed images. You see what I'm saying? Because we want it to look a certain way before we actually post it. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that just goes back to seeing how so many people like you're not gonna see nobody posting themselves in no bump fit on a regular day, like a regular day. Like you're not gonna see that. Anytime you see somebody post something now in the flyest fit, or if you see them in the club or they're doing whatever, like to show that they're living a certain lifestyle. And then once you see it so consistently, it's almost like they're doing it every day. You feel what I'm saying? So you start thinking they're doing it every day when they're really not. You see what I'm saying?
Man.
But it's like
it making sense, bro. It's making sense. You hitting it. You hitting it right.
You have to really be able to like fall back from that a little bit and just focus on yourself. So once you realize people are putting these images up and making them look a certain way or whatever, then you start to realize like, okay, it's not really a whole lot that I need to care about with other people because they're gonna post what they want to post anyway to give whatever they have, get whatever image they have. So that may not even be the real them that I'm looking at. You seen people post all these things, and they might be sad as shit, like back at home, like back on the other side of the phone. They might be depressed, whatever. I'm not putting on nobody, but that's how really people be because they don't want people to know, or they just don't present it that way. You know what I'm saying? That's why most times, like, there's a lot of people that just post every day on social media doing whatever, but it's like nothing to value. That's why I don't even post like on social media. I don't know if you realize I don't really be posting.
Sometimes it's hard for me to keep posting, bro. Like, you know, it's hard for me to post more than once or twice a week, bro, because it's like I'm not trying to be out here and be fake. I mean, I'm still figuring it out, you know. Usually when I post something, it's me giving information that I learned or something from my experience. I'm not trying to portray anything on my social media, you know. So it's really nothing to post unless I'm trying to give value or, you know, giving value. So it's nothing else is really important to me. I don't really care how people view me as far as what I have or what I have going on. All I care about is you becoming the best version of you. That way the world can become the best version of itself. You feel me? That's really all I'm here for. But yeah.
That's what we are really here for, bro. Honestly. So it's like you really have to. And we got long going off. Crazy. But it's really like you just have to be able to be okay with yourself. And like that's what I'm finding myself really doing every single day. Just being okay with being myself and like not worried about posting certain things. Like you said, I don't post. I mean, I can post. It'd be rare if I post twice a week. And if I do post something, it's something of like value. I feel like I'm adding. Like the most recent post that I've had is the reels I've been posting of me working out and doing stuff. That's the only thing I've ever really posted. Or I haven't made like any other posts like or anything like that. You know, because I know that some things ain't meant to be shared. Like I'm focusing on me, right? And I'm focusing on myself. You know, I might pop out every now and again. It's okay to pop out. I don't think it's okay to just like pop out. You feeling good, pop out. You know what I'm saying? You're in a good space, go ahead, pop out. But if you're trying to make it look like it's like that every single day, then it becomes an issue.
Right.
You know it ain't really like
Now you can't.
Good, but you ain't like good every day. I'm not gonna say you're not living life good every day because every day is a blessing. But just don't try to alter the image. You feel me? That
exactly.
Don't try to make the image, you know, fake it in what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like just be you and be okay with not being in that space with other people too. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be okay with being by yourself. Like I realized like I was really okay. I started like shifting my mind a little bit. I think the first time I felt like I had made like some type of like shift or like kind of like low-key breakthroughs when I went to Kevin Gates concert by myself. I went dolo by myself. I was like, I think that was like 2018. And this is when Gates first got out of prison or whatever. And I had got tickets. I saw tickets like $20, $25, something like that.
That's crazy.
He performed here. That's when I was in Pasadena.
To a concert.
He performed at the Novo out there in downtown LA. And I was like going to people that I got cool with some people, some other interns or whatever at the time. I was like, y'all want to go see Kevin Gates or whatever? Even my roommate was like, nah, I don't even really miss Kevin Gates like that, whatever. I'm like, all right, shit, I like Kevin Gates, but I'm about to go. I took the Uber, called the Uber, and I was got me a drink, got that thing, got me a drink, and I was cooling. I was chilling, bro. Like, but you gotta be able to do stuff like that. You gotta be able to go out by yourself. You gotta be able to sit by yourself and read a book. You gotta be able.
Ain't nothing wrong with going to an entertaining event by yourself, bro. Like it's probably one of the best things you could do because you can't piss yourself off. But other people can piss you off.
Exactly.
Kill your vibe. Exactly. You gotta kill your own vibe.
Ain't nothing I can do.
You ain't about to do that.
Exactly,
but nah, good. I like it. But I want to hit on this one. I feel like this is a huge one, and it's talking about, you know, learning a new language or what is your language, and not necessarily like English, Spanish, but like the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you know, talk on platforms, the way that you talk to your friends. Like, what are the things that you saying? Like, do you reach out to people with problems all the time? Like, when you get a text from somebody, sometimes you know that person and you know exactly what they own before you even open a text up. Like, you already know it's gonna be them presenting you with a problem that you can't even necessarily fix, or that they don't even want you to necessarily fix. They just want it to be known that they have a problem.
Right.
Or you go on Twitter and you scroll and you just see Twitter is just a timeline of complaints.
Honestly,
That's all
on
that
Twitter,
people are doing on there. It's
like,
literally just people commenting and complaining on different things that's going on, or like stuff that really is irrelevant to everybody else. They're just giving out information that's not needed. So it's like when you get sucked into those environments, you start to do the same thing. You know, like sometimes I gotta catch myself being like, yeah, like why, like I'll see something, I'll be like, yeah, like that's stupid. Like why is that like that? But it's like, wait, bro, like nah, bro, chill out. Like, why are you complaining about something that you cannot solve, or something that has no real impact on you? We complaining about something Shakara Richardson did. We complaining about something Kanye said, something that Drake doing. Why we care about they in good positions. Like, they handling their business. We always complaining about them. They not worrying about us. So it's like,
right.
I gotta remind myself, because like we getting programmed to think this way. We getting programmed to think in a problem based way of state of mind instead of a solution based state of mind. Instead of talking about what Kanye or Drake beefing about, how about let's talk about how we can build a business like how Kanye did. Let's take the solutions that he created and make our own solutions. You feel me? Let's look at the blueprint and recreate our own blueprint based on the thing that he left behind. Because that's really what we should be doing, instead of focusing on the little negative stuff that's going on, or like that social and other people want us to look at. When in front of our eyes, this man went from bankrupt to 4 billion, but we're not talking about that and how he did that.
Right.
We're just talking about how he got the baby on stage with him and Marilyn Manson on him, and he's canceled because the baby said something on stage or something like that. I mean, I'm not for or against any of that, but I'm saying, why am I focused on that? It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you at all.
That's because people not spending enough time focused on themselves. That's really what it is, honestly. And I don't want people to realize, like, when you think about Kanye, like, you can talk about the Kanye Drake beef, whatever, him not dropping the album, or people wanting to drop the album. Let's look a little deeper and realize how much of a marketing genius this man is. For real. This man went on a tour, went to 6 different states, was on the damn near 6 different stadiums, and did not drop an album. Like, people was pulling up to the stadium to listen to the album that was not released yet. That's how does that sound? That's crazy, bro. Like, you ain't even listening to none of these songs. Like, you pulling up paying who knows how much money to pay this, to listen to this song that you ain't never heard before.
Exactly.
But we're not talking about that either. We're not even talking about the business structure behind that. For real. Like, oh, maybe I can, like, shoot, maybe I can do something like that. Like, something not on that grander scale, but something that on a smaller scale. It's called building anticipation. Like, there's lots of things that we can learn from different situations. But we so, like you said, we just so focused on the wrong things, and not really like paying attention to what we need to pay attention to.
We can't pick the trees from the forest. That's the issue. As a people, we don't do a good job of picking the trees from the forest, and it's killing us.
Yeah, because then we get lost in this pit of just like endless nothingness. Like, we're lost in nothing, literally.
And it's very similar to when you eat junk food, or when you engage in something that you shouldn't be doing, but you stuck in that cycle, or it's like an addiction, something like that, because it gives you like a little thrill, a little shot of dopamine for a second, and you get in that cycle and you continuously going down it, and it kind of feeds itself. It's very similar to the water cycle. Like it's gonna constantly go until it's broken, but it's very hard to break it because that's just the natural movement of it. It's like a cycle of emotion. You get the feeling, it fades away, then you go search for it again, then you feel it again, boom, then it goes away, you search for it again. It's just like an endless.
Do you think that's why we're so lost in the cycle of being average?
Yes.
Like you think that plays? That's really what that is. Cause that's what it sounds like. Like it's connected to like being average for real. Like just getting lost in the cycle. Nothing is like.
That's literally what average is. It's getting lost in the shuffle, getting lost, because that's why the average is in the middle. The average is right in the middle because it's lost. It's stuck in the middle. It's lost. It's like literally in the haystack. It's a needle in the haystack. You're stuck in there.
You just caught in the storm. You just dead. Like you just dead.
Right.
You just dead. Yeah. Like but you're not going in any direction. You're just kind of like just waving around. Like you just wading the water, basically.
Exactly. So like instead of us saying, let's say for instance the power go out. Instead of us looking at the energy company and saying, dang, bro, like how y'all let the power go out? Let's think about how can we solve that? What if we have a generator? You know, okay, we go to the store, we find out the first store don't have generators. We gonna give up and go back to the house with no power, or we gonna go to the next step of the solution-based mindset and go, all right, what other stores have generators? You go to the next store, boom, oh, they have generators, boom, let me get one. What I need for this? Gas. What you gonna do? Just take the generator that you got and give up because you don't have gas? Or you gonna go find a way to go get some gas, or make sure you have some gas at your house because you already plan on buying the generator? You're already thinking 3 steps ahead.
Or if you're stuck at the house and you know you can't go nowhere, you're gonna siphon the gas out your own car and put it in the generator.
Exactly. Are you gonna think like that, or you just gonna be like, man, you gonna keep calling the energy company waiting on them to save you? You feel me? Because that's their problem. Because it's a problem and they're the ones supposed to solve it. When it's your life, you feel me?
And that's honestly, son, that's why I really like no matter how crazy the city of New Orleans is, bro, I would say that we are a city of some creators, bro. Like we will make a way out of nowhere, like out of nothing, literally. Like you can put us anywhere, and we'll make it work. We'll make it work. We're gonna thug it out, bro. But that's just how we built. We didn't had nothing before. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people done lost stuff before. A lot of people done got, displaced. You know what I'm saying? And had to start over, literally. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy. Yeah.
And they had to start over from scratch. So it's like, like you being able to build that, that just shows the resilience of the city, and the resilience of the people in the city. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll argue with each other. Like that's just like your family for real. Like we'll argue with each other. We'll be angry, do all this other stuff. But when the time comes to do what you gotta do, people in New Orleans find a way to get it done. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So I got a question. It's kind of related to what you're saying, but it's kind of not. But it made me think of this. So, do you think even if you don't get the result that you seek, like a great or phenomenal or above average result, but in your heart you completely strive for perfection, you gave it everything you had, is that person still average even if the result is average, but the heart and the effort was phenomenal and you could tell that they gave it all they had? Like, is that person still average?
Me personally, my opinion, no, I don't think so. Because if your effort ain't average, then you're not gonna be average. As long as your effort continues to not be average. It may just be that where you're focusing your effort is what's creating the average result. Maybe you need to focus your effort in another place so you can get so you can reap the benefits of your efforts. That's what I personally feel. Because when stuff just keeps not working, okay, try something else. Try something else. Right? That's what it has being solution.
How long do you think that should take before you think it's time for somebody to, if they continuously get an average result but they put in all the effort, how long should they wait?
As long as needed until it comes through. Because guess what? We all unique and we all built differently. So everybody's timing is different. And that's one thing people gotta realize. Like, just because your time coming and his time came, don't mean yours not coming. Maybe there's just some things you need to learn along the way, or something you need to do first before your time comes. But at least you continue to put that effort in. It's going to keep you prepared for when your opportunity comes. And then when you finally get your opportunity, it's going to be easy. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be difficult because you've been trying this whole time and you've been giving your 110% this entire time. That's where proper preparation means opportunity.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I personally don't feel like that because honestly, I feel like I'm a result of that. Like me and Tyler was just talking about this like a couple weeks ago, bro. Like, he was like, that's why he was rocking me the whole time. I feel like that's why other people rock with me because he was like, I forgot who he was talking to, but he was like, Christian was never the biggest, Christian was never the strongest, Christian, you know what I'm saying? But that boy put in 110 every time I seen him to the point where it made me want to go off. And this man went and played 4 years of baseball, like 4 years of college ball. When the same people, certain people that was just relying on the talent and kind of living in that moment for real, then reached their full potential because they wasn't putting in the work. So eventually, my average turned to something great. Because it may not have excelled in that field of baseball, but my knowledge excelled to the point I can go back and teach them. Like the back of my hand, I can still go play the game. I went and stole 3 bases last weekend. Like, you feel me? And play in that play now field. You feel me? Like my effort was there. You know what I'm saying? Went 3 for 4, like going crazy. Like,
so you think if the effort is there and the passion and the energy and focus is there, like you can master anything.
You can. You definitely can. Like, you just have to know where to put your efforts in. And not saying that's gonna happen on the first try.
Right. It ain't gonna be perfect. It ain't never gonna be perfect. Yeah. But as long as you're striving for perfection, you're gonna get somewhere. You're gonna make some ground.
And you're going to get something out of it, and it's going to be more than what you could really imagine. I realized that a lot of places where I was struggling for perfection at, and that I didn't end up being perfect in that one thing. But what I learned from that effort that I put in, striving for that perfection in a certain area, actually helped me in the new area that I was going into. You see what I'm saying? So it's about learning, continuously learning, and always being a sponge. You see what I'm saying? And always remaining consistent with the effort that you have. So you have to be open-minded to a lot of those things. That's the only way you're gonna be able to progress forward. That's where the mindset comes in. If the mindset don't match the effort, it doesn't make any sense. Because, like I said, you just run on the treadmill, you ain't going nowhere.
Right. But yeah, I kind of want to have this last discussion be the thing that we close on, because I feel like it's kind of going to sum everything up. I really just want to know what do you want out your life? Like, how do you want your life to go? Like, if it were up to you, would you continuously like live the average life that you like currently live, or would you go ahead and just go all out on this thing that you're passionate about, the thing that you subconsciously think about all the time, but you never really put that 110% effort into it? It's really up to you. You got to ask yourself, when I look in the mirror, do I see somebody I'm proud of? Do I see somebody I want my kids to look up to? Do I see somebody that I want my wife to look at? You gotta answer those questions honestly, and then make the adjustments accordingly, or forever you'll be you'll be regretful. And then when you're on your deathbed and your kids looking at you, you're gonna look them in the eyes and you're gonna know that you didn't give them all that you had. Or when your woman look at you, you're not gonna be able to honestly say that you gave her everything that you had. You know.
And that's really, honestly, that's crazy that you said that, because I literally think about that all the time. Like when I go through my day, I'm thinking, my mind is consistently rolling, bro. Like, yeah, all day, every day. And sometimes it's about things just like that. Like, okay, with the way that I'm going and what I'm doing, are my kids gonna be proud of the efforts that I'm giving? Right? When I'm struggling in this class, like, I'm struggling to get this business off the ground. Like, I'm struggling to, show love to my partner, for real, for real. So do I really want to be the person, like, when I do have children, do I want to be the person they look at and say, you didn't give 110 and fought through all that struggle and we still made it work? You know what I'm saying? Or do I want to be the complete opposite and they want to look at me like you can't really tell me nothing because you didn't even give 110%.
Exactly.
That's the last thing you want your kids to tell you. That's the
Yeah.
last thing I want my kids to tell me.
Yeah,
Like, bro, don't even
that's the
tell me
thing that
nothing.
would hurt me the most. That would hurt me the most, bro, if my family didn't appreciate what I did or the effort I gave.
Right, knowing you could have gave more, right? Knowing you could have gave more. You feel me? That's the thing people got to think about. Like, it's not about you. This is, like, even right now in this space where we're at right now, this is not about us. For real, for real. Like, everything I'm thinking about is like, okay, like, literally, like, thinking about the life that I lived, for real. Like, think about some of the things that I went through, knowing some of the things that my mother went through, my father went through, my grandmother went through, all those different things. That people don't realize that traumas and all those experiences are passed down those experiences are passed down to your children. And we don't really know that we're unconsciously moving in that manner. Like, it wasn't until, like, you don't realize, like, you do certain things because, like, you might get irritated at certain things because your mama used to get irritated at certain things. And so now that rubbed off on you. And so now when you come to your partner or whatever, they do those little stuff, you get irritated because your mom used to get mad at you for doing it. Or your dad used to get mad at you for doing whatever you did.
Yeah.
Because his father or their mother got mad at them for doing certain things. Right? So it's passed down. So it's up to us to really become aware and conscious of really being able to, like, cut that generational curse. Like, it's not just like this generational wealth is not just about finance. And that's what people don't understand.
Not at all.
The wealth does not start with your finances.
That's probably like one of the lower things on the totem pole, honestly.
Exactly. It does not start with your finances. It starts with you and your spirit and your habits. Because you want your children and your great-grandchildren and your grandchildren and great-grandchildren, those coming looking after you, to look at your habits. Even when after you gone, you want people to look at you and say, this is what I want. I want people to say, yeah, damn, my great-great-granddad did all these things and he gave 110. I want to be just like him. Even though I haven't even met him, he set the standard.
Oh, like, God.
He set the standard for what's to come, like for what I'm supposed to be, to emulate. You see what I'm saying? That's where the legacy comes in. So that's what people should be striving to really do. And that's what I strive to be every day. And knowing I'm not going to be perfect every day, but I'm realizing that this shit is a process. And I'm going through the process. And I'm embracing the process as it comes. And we can't do nothing but take this thing a day at a time. A second at a time, for real. Because the second's passing like clockwork. Bro, it's September. Bro, it's September, dude. Like, the year is over. Like, I don't know, the year over.
Like 2 years passed that fast.
2 years have passed that quick. The world changed like that in 2 years past. We are 2 years into the transitional phase of what the new world's gonna look like, basically.
Yep.
Like, what this new world gonna look like. You see what I'm saying? And we're in the very beginning stages of it. So right now is the time to get yourself together right now. Because like you said, if you don't manage your time, the world gonna manage it for you. If you don't get your spirit together, the world gonna manage your spirit for you. And the world gonna tell you what to do and how to be and how to act. So you might want to get yourself in line right now, so that way you can stand on all 10 when it's time to go to war. You know what I'm saying? Because this is more than just a war of the flesh for real. This is a war of the spirit.
Right.
And if your spirit ain't in line, your spirit not together, you're not gonna be able to withstand what's coming your way. Because y'all think it's bad right now, but it's gonna continue to progress. You're gonna continue to go through stuff. People need to stop thinking
we are fighting a war that has nothing to do with flesh right now. It has zero to do with it.
zero.
The war is being fought on such a high level, it can't even be seen. But we're constantly fighting this war every day.
Yeah.
And we have to take our competitive advantage, and our competitive advantage is our spirituality and our relationships with each other. And that's what's gonna free us, bro. Because when we move together, bro, and we all on the same wavelength, and we know who our opponent is, and we realize what's going on, that's when we can't be stopped.
Most definitely, bro. Like people don't even realize like the effectiveness, like the energy that comes when people like unite together. For real. Like people don't even realize like that moves mountains. Like unity moves mountains for real. But it starts with, treating everybody how they need to be treated. It starts with you being aligned with yourself and your spirit and your energy. And it just starts with you just trying to be the best you that you can be every single day. Like despite what the world has to say about you and what and things that you do. As long as you're putting the good energy out there, you're being genuine with your intentions, you're being the best that you can be, can't nobody tell you shit. Because guess what? They ain't got to live with themselves, you do. They ain't got to live with you do, bro. Like, that's your life. You feel me? So we just consistently got to be on our ones. You know what I'm saying? Got to be on our ones and twos, man, on a consistent basis.
Yep. That's it, man. But, bro, that was a good episode. I definitely appreciate it, bro. You was dropping some crazy stuff on that. I hope everybody enjoyed it, bro. I just want everybody to just make that decision. I mean, if you're gonna be average, just be, don't be regretful. Because I'm not gonna say I don't care. I want you to be great. I want you to be great and be the greatest version of yourself. But ultimately, I want you to be at peace with yourself. First and foremost, whatever decision you make, just make sure you're at peace with it, and you don't have no regret or no subconscious thoughts in your mind that's gonna haunt you. So just make that decision, man. And I love y'all, man. Y'all have a good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.